Alright, so this character is basically an auto bomber, and I'll show you what I mean. See what I'm saying? See this? I haven't pressed a single button, just so you know. This character is literally an auto bomber. Boom. Everything's dead. Everything's dead. Everything's dead. Look at that. See, it's still going. Alright, so let's watch this. Still haven't pressed an attack button. This character is an actual auto bomber. Look at that. I haven't pressed a single button. We're gonna clear this whole map without a single button. Look, no buttons pressed. No buttons pressed still. No buttons pressed. See, look at that. Our enemy's just dead. Look at that. We're gonna be able to kill this abyssal. Oh, 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 we got him. Let's go. Let's go. Face tank the abyssal. Still haven't pressed a single attack key, by the way. Let's see. Oh, cleared that mob. Oh, cleared that mob. Oh, let's see here. Oh, cleared that mob. Oh, cleared that mob. Oh, cleared that mob. Oh, look at that. It's gonna chain all the way. See that? Well, we finished the map and we didn't press a single attack button. Alright, so the reason I made this character is just because it's funny. That's it. I just made it because it's funny. I really like the skill, basic attack, crossbow shot, because it's just very satisfying, especially when you have like high mobility and you can just walk around and shoot. I just find this skill incredibly enjoyable to use, even though it's just basic attack crossbow shot. Like, if you don't know this, like the Mist Whisperer crossbow, it's like a unique crossbow that you can use to level up like pretty much any character. And if you're curious about that, you can go back and like watch my old video, because I did like a whole video explaining. But you can use this crossbow called a Mist Whisperer to just like clear the campaign really easily, because it's kind of overpowered, honestly. But yeah, I was like, man, I really like crossbow shots, so I'm just gonna make an entire character to just meme around on it. So I basically just built this character as a meme. For killing bosses, I've basically just been auto attacking them. Not because it's like optimal, but just because it's funny. You know, you just shoot them with your auto attack until they die. You can also use like gas grenades. Gas grenades kill the boss pretty fast, so you can also use that. And then for a while there, I was just like playing around with Plasma Blast, and Plasma Blast honestly works pretty good too. So you can use Plasma Blast as well. Plasma Blast is kind of fun. It just does this thing where you charge up and you like blast a little beam of light, and your Plasma Blast can poison, so you can actually get like a little poison pop off your Plasma Blast and poison the boss at the same time, which is pretty fun. But yeah, I basically just made this character as a meme, and it's surprisingly good at clearing maps, because all the slowed ground and stuff doesn't matter to this character at all. So you can just like walk around, and obviously if you get more movement speed, like I think my next plan with this character is just to stack movement speed everywhere I can. like probably like starting to run like this stuff and maybe this stuff over here, because I just want more movement speed, more movement speed, more movement speed. So I mean, this one node's kind of wasted on this character, which is sad. Maybe what I'll probably do is grab these ones. Maybe I'll grab this one, acceleration. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna try and get some more movement speed, because honestly the character feels really fun. I might spend some money on some fancy boots. But yeah, I'll take you through it, and you guys probably enjoy it. And to be fair, I didn't expect it to be as good at mapping as it is, but we're just abusing this like Herald of Blood combo, because they didn't nerf this, right? So now you have this Herald of Blood combo, and you can combine this with like everything else in your kit to just basically blow up the screen. And the more density there is in the map, the more damage this does. So when you're in maps with massive amounts of density, this is so strong, man. It's actually crazy. Like, you can just delete the entire screen in like one crossbow shot, so it's kind of nuts. Alright, and I already know what everyone's gonna say. They're gonna say, oh, well, this build doesn't work because I can't afford a surrounded helmet. Well, let's just take the surrounded helmet off then. Now, a bunch of my skill gems are bricked, and half my tree is bricked because I don't have the surrounded helmet on. So surely the build shouldn't work once I take the surrounded helmet off, right? Oh, what do you know? Half my tree is bricked, no surrounded helmet. And yeah, it seems to do just fine. Isn't that crazy? It's almost like if your build just works, even if half the tree is bricked, it still just works, you know? It's like, it's just, maybe it's just not that complicated. And I mean, obviously, see, you can see no surrounded helmet, not wearing a surrounded helmet. There's no surrounded helmet on right now. So yeah, and I mean, this is like a juiced up tier 15 with a bunch of damage mods on it. So yeah, don't come at me with that whole you need a surrounded helmet. I hate to break it to you, but if your build doesn't work without the surrounded helmet, it's just probably not a good build, man. I know it sucks to hear that, but like if you're not doing things without the surrounded helmet, it's probably just because the build is bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so basically what you need to scale your damage with this stuff is you need sources of elemental, physical, and chaos damage. Now I like to use elemental because elemental is the easiest to scale because you're using plague fingers. Now the best socketables for your plague fingers are these increased magnitude of damaging ailments you inflict. So these are actually just found inside runes that you can buy from the currency exchange. So you just get these increased magnitude of damaging ailments, you inflict runes, and you pop them in. Now I'm running 2 in my plague fingers just so that I can get extra magnitude instead of 1. So I just got a corrupted pair. I think they were like 20x or something. Anyways, all damage from hits contributes to poison magnitude. So normally poison only works with physical damage and chaos damage, but when you put these gloves on with this mod, it works on your elemental damage too. So you're able to use elemental rolls and then increased elemental damage with attacks, and then obviously this one gives me extra chaos damage too. So all these elemental rolls on your weapons, these actually scale your damage on your attacks when you use these gloves. So you're able, there's some other ways you can do it too, but I won't get into that in this video because it's just too complicated just to take too long. But anyways, so you use these and all damage from hits, you get these, and then you get this mod here, increased elemental damage with attacks. Increased elemental damage with attack modifies these 2 numbers right here. So these 2 numbers are actually much higher than they say they are because this is invisible damage that you don't see showing up. The best base types are probably the siege crossbow or the elegant crossbow, either one. The siege is nice because it gets you lots of damage with your grenades, because grenades fire an additional projectile. But this one's also not bad because it pierces enemies. So I mean, either one of these is pretty good, honestly. Nothing wrong with either one of these. I'd say either one of these base types is totally fine. So you probably just choose the base type that works best for you. And then I'm also using a second one on swap. But I bought this for like, all these for like 1 divine each. These were all like 1 divine or a couple of null orbs. I think this one was like 1 divine, and this one was like a couple of annulment orbs, and this one was like 1 divine or something. So none of these crossbows are very expensive. Like, you can go to the market and just look for like any crossbow And then you just look for like elemental DPS 500. Okay, so then we'll add in attack skills. So we want it to have at least, say, 5 attack skills, and then elemental damage with attacks. So now I'll just put in 100. So yeah, look, see, 1 annulment orb. Check this one out. Nothing wrong with this. No, there's, this will work totally fine. It's 1 annulment orb. Here's another one. 1 annulment orb. Attack speed, 6, 100, 2 sources of flat, elemental, 1 annulment orb. Like, these are all strong weapons. 5 chaos orbs. Again, nothing wrong with this. This is totally fine. This would totally work without any issues. So you could use this. This is literally no problem. This person only socketed. The other thing you can watch for when you're shopping for these is if they have these cores in them, like if anyone's put runes in them to boost the elemental damage, and then you can just kind of weed those ones out, because you can see like this one says 536. Now this one says 535, but it's actually bait because there's fire damage runes in it. This one doesn't have fire damage runes in it, so this one's actually better. So this is an example of a really good one, and it's really reasonably priced, and it gives you onslaught. So look at that, increased damage with onslaught. So yeah, like that's a really good example of a good one right here, and it's only 5 chaos orbs. And I don't know what the exchange rate on chaos orbs is. Let's just check really quick. So I want chaos orbs. I have, so yeah, look. It's not even that whole crossbow is like 1/6 of a divine. It's like 10x. Like, it's like nothing. It's like crazy cheap. I want chaos orbs. I have exalts. So yeah, 1 chaos orb right now is only 12x. So yeah, this thing is like 70 exalts for this crossbow right here, and it's got attack speed, 2 sources of Ellie, so good Ellie, and it's got the Ellie roll, and it's got the attack skills roll, and it's got the onslaught roll. Like, this is a crazy one. I might even just buy this one for myself, honestly. It's 41 minutes ago. It's cheap. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for this. You just search elemental DPS and you just drop it down to whatever you can afford. Maybe it's only 450 that you can afford. And look, you got a whole bunch. 5x. 1 and all. 1 and all. 1 and all. Like, you got loads of options. And if you drop it down even more, you're going to see even more of these come up. Like, there's so many of these. But anyways. So yeah, and then you can also add these extra chaos damage runes to the weapon. So if you go down in here, you will find the chaos runes. And this one gives you 30% of damage as extra chaos damage. So if you use that one, you will get extra chaos damage, which also adds to your poison damage. And this is just like non-damage that doesn't show up on your weapon, but it's actually pretty strong. And I think these ones are like reasonably cheap, these chaos ones. Let's have a look. Extra chaos damage. Yeah, these are like 3x. Look, you can buy these for 3x right now. I should just buy a few myself just so I have some. Oh wow, I'm exalted or poor. Never mind. Alright, so the other runes you can use are these ones for your gloves. These courtesans, runes of cruelty. Those are good for your gloves. So you can pop those in. And then you can also use, you can even use just like plain old lightning runes. Those would be fine too if you want some cheap stuff. You could use fire damage runes. You could use extra chaos damage runes. The best ones are probably the ruins of the sky, but these are quite a bit more expensive. So it's kind of up to you if you want to get any of these. These are good though. These are definitely good just because you get extra damage of all elements. So that's good because this combines with your elementals. So like this gets multiplied by this, right? Elemental damage, because they just multiply off each other. So yeah, I mean, that's probably a good one too. Those are probably the best ones, honestly. The chaos ones or these ones are both really good. And if you just wanted like a really super budget option, you could, or you're playing like say solo self-found, you could just use like regular elemental runes, like fire, cold, lightning. Probably lightning. I think you're gonna get the most value. But yeah, that's it for like runes that you need to run this. Now I'm running a surrounded helmet, but you don't need a surrounded helmet. You can make this work with no surrounded helmet. And on the amulet, I'm running armor. I'm running double armor mods on this one with just projectile skills. I think I bought this amulet for a couple divines. And then I anointed leeching toxins on it just because I couldn't path to it on my tree. I was just unable to reach it. That was probably my biggest problem. I just was not able to reach over to get this. I got to do some work on this tree still. I got to move some stuff around. Yeah, I mean, I spent like maybe 10 divs on this character, but you don't need to spend that much to make this character work. Honestly, you could get like an up bare bones working version going for like maybe like 1 or 2. But yeah, I just bought the projectile amulet, all projectile skills, and then this one came with increased armor because I'm running armor. This just worked well for me. And then I bought some boots, just life, res, movement speed boots. Armor's actually pretty good this patch, so I bought a belt with double armor rolls and some life and some strength, some fire res, just whatever. And then 2 charm slots, obviously. And I'm just using a poison charm, stun charm, freeze charm. And then I got my plague fingers, and then I just got some rings with like flat damage, chaos damage, rarity, all attributes, chaos res, lightning, accuracy, some resist. This is like a nice resist ring. It's like cold, fire, cold, lightning. So 4 sources of resists on this thing. And then life, and then a bit of lightning flat. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, because all this flat damage, right? This flat damage on all your rings, this does get transferred to your poison magnitude, right? So yeah, but I mean, that's pretty much it for gear. You could build a bare bones. I'll probably give you some suggestions on how you could do the skill tree without this. And yeah, I think it would work totally fine. You don't need this helmet. I was doing it without this helmet for a while, and it was totally fine. This helmet just gives you a nice like damage boost and a nice movement speed boost. More than anything, honestly, it's the movement speed that's really nice. Having this helmet for the movement speed is so nice, man. But yeah, for skill gems, all I was doing was running 2 crossbow shots. So what that looks like is I was just walking and shooting, and as you can see, you can pretty much walk like almost full speed. There's a body armor that lets you walk faster that's also an evasion base, and that one would be pretty good too, but I'm using an evasion armor base with one of these armored elemental damage rolls on it, and this one's got a fat one on it. I bought this armor for like a div or 2. And then I put these 2 runes in it. 20% of damage is taken from mana before life, and because I'm not using my mana for like anything, this is just an extra health pool, because then like the 20% of the damage doesn't have to go through here, it has to go through here too. So I actually have a much like bigger effective hit pool than it looks like, because 1/5 of all the damage that goes here, and because my skills don't use any mana at all, I actually am taking a lot less damage. So my effective hit pool is like much higher than it looks. And of course I also have like pretty high armor value, and then I have that big armor from elemental roll on my armor. So I actually have a lot of value here as far as defenses go. I have like quite a bit of armor value here because I'm getting so much armor to elemental, and because I actually have a pretty decent armor rating. It's like 7,000. It's not huge, but I'm getting a decent reduction on elemental damage this way, so that's pretty solid. And then I'm also running scav plating, and when my scav plating kicks in, this goes up over like 70%. So I actually have like a pretty decent armor rating with like a pretty good hit pool, even though my numbers look pretty low. But yeah, so that's how all the gear's set up. And then like I said, with this crossbow tech, basically you just walk and shoot, and then you can just switch. See, you can see that walk shoot. And if you're playing like PC gamepad absolutely like craps on mouse and keyboard, by the way. It's so OP. You can just like use so many skills so easily with PC gamepad. But yeah, so if you can just 2-button your setup, one for a group clear, one for a single target. So you can just walk and shoot, but then you can also do like group clear by using a second crossbow, and that will let you shoot in every direction. So you can do this, and that's really good in breaches. And then when your other crossbow, and for me, because I'm using gamepad, I can literally just I don't have to lift my finger. I can just insta swap, and I can just move while I do it, which is really nice. But yeah, so the crossbow shot, I have the secondary crossbow shot, which is the one I use for when I'm surrounded. And this one just has bleed, mobility, rapid attacks, nova projectiles, and corrosion on it. So this is just basically to spread as much poison around as possible. And then the corrosion is just to break armor so that I can get scav plating, because then I get scav plating when I break armor. So I just walk and do this if I'm in like a breach, and it just kills all the enemies around me. You could also use explosive shot, but explosive shot's really ugly. I don't like explosive shot at all. And then for the regular one, the single shot one, I'm just using mobility, poison 3, bursting plague, ricochet, and bleed. So yeah, when I do this, I can just basically shoot while I'm just walking and minding my own business and having a great time. and then it will just cause everything to blow up and die from all the bleed and poison, because the bleed and poison procs my Herald of Blood, which chains bleed and poison as well. And because I'm running so much magnitude of damaging ailments, my bleed and poison actually does a lot of damage. So my poison from my crossbow shot, my primary crossbow shot, my ignite damage is, my bleed damage is 418 to 1675, but then this is doubled because it's aggravated. And then my ignite damage is 5,000 to 8,000. And then my poison damage is 18,000 to 34,000. But then they can be afflicted by 6 of my poisons at the same time because I'm playing Pathfinder. So it's actually closer to about like 100 to 200,000 damage per second with my poison. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty good. It does all right. And the bleeding duration and everything is kind of messed up. The bleeding duration is actually only 2.5 seconds because I am using Crimson Assault. So my bleeding is aggravated and it does more damage, but its base duration is lowered. But because I'm running all these magnitude and duration nodes on the tree, I'm able to get way more magnitude of bleeding. And then I'm also running lasting trauma for more duration and magnitude of ailments. And I just picked that up on a megalomaniac, so I just have it on a megalomaniac. That's why I got it. And I bought this for like a div as well. It's pretty late in league. I feel like lots of people have lots of currency at this point. Just juice up your maps. You'll find lots of like raw divs. Like you can find like 4 or 5 a day, even if you don't juice your maps. And I bought this Heart of the Well. I think I bought this Heart of the Well actually for like 6 divines, so I paid a little bit more for it. But you could just throw like a regular jewel in here. I just got an extra chaos, extra fire, poison on hit, stun threshold. Wasn't even really ideal, but you can just get like one of these, like an elemental damage, poison on hit, damaging ailments. And then like maybe one more poison mod, but even just regular jewels like this will work fine. Damaging ailments deal damage faster is a really good mod. Elemental damage, poison on hit, damage with hits. It's like, this is a great jewel right here because it doesn't just have a single wasted mod. It's LE, poison on hit, damage against rare and unique enemies, and damaging ailments. Like this is a perfect jewel. If you're running this, you could just use one of these and it would perform really well. But yeah, like I bought some high-end stuff because I just have a lot of currency to waste, so I'm just buying stuff. And then you just run from Nothing Diamond up here in the corner, and you just grab Pure Chaos and Wither Away, and Chakra of Elements as well is just like a freebie, so you might as well grab that too. But yeah, you grab Pure Chaos and Wither Away because then you get extra Chaos damage, which works for your poison. And then you grab Wither Away because Wither it lowers the enemy's Chaos resistance, basically. It's essentially what it is. It's like lowering chaos resistance. It increases the amount of chaos damage they take. And you can inflict this in a few ways, but I've just put it on my tree. And there's also a way to increase the magnitude right here. But I haven't worried about doing any wither stuff yet. I'll probably worry about that later. Honestly, everything's felt really easy, so I didn't really care. Yeah, I'll take you through the skill tree after and give you some tweaks and stuff you could do. But I was just running Cluster Grenade for single target with Defy, Magnified Area, Short Fuse, Elemental Armament, and Cooldown Recovery. So basically, I just like, if I seen like a tanky rare enemy, I was just running by, I'd basically just like shoot a Cluster Grenade in his face and just keep moving because they pretty much instantly die. Because the Cluster Grenade poisons, hey? Like you can see, like poison damage, 22,000 to 40,000 on my Cluster Grenade. So yeah, kind of cool. Yeah, so not too bad. And then the mini grenades also poison, so they also poison. So when you dump this out, and where's it? Yeah, chance to poison. It should be in here somewhere. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. I think it's 60% or something like that. Yeah, so you just fire that out. Boom, blows up in the rare enemy's face and kind of just instantly deletes him. And you can also shoot out your gas grenades. And once these go off, they'll kind of chill for a while. So you can just kind of like hang out in this cloud and just stand around, and the enemies will just run into the cloud and die. So yeah, you can always like shoot these on top of what are those things called? The things that spawn the abysses. You can just shoot these on top of the abysses, and like as the enemies spawn out of the abyss, they'll just get deleted by your poison grenades, and they last quite a while. And then once this starts, all the poison starts chaining
amongst all the enemies. So yeah, this works pretty good. Like I just threw this together. I didn't get too fancy with it. It's pretty straightforward. And then I'm using this voltaic grenade just to apply some shocks. So yeah, it just applies shocks, and it also poisons. So you can see it does poison damage, 36,000. So elemental armament, magnified area, defy, short fuse, concentrated area. So yeah, you just shoot out the grenades and they blow up and they poison and shock, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's kind of neat. And the gas grenade and the artillery ballista you can pretty much just ignore. I was just like playing around with this. I just thought it was funny. So I was just like throwing them on the ground and they would just like pin enemies, and then I would like shoot my poison grenade at them and just kind of laugh because they'd like just die in the cloud of grenade while they were poisoned and couldn't move. But yeah, for Wind Dancer, I was using Bursting Plague, Poison 3, Magnified Area, Bleed 3, and Corrosion. So if I'm going through these too fast, just check the Maxroll. But the Wind Dancer is actually pretty important because when you're running through and you get hit, the Wind Dancer is kind of like an extra free attack. And when this goes off, the Corrosion will break armor, and that breaking armor will give you scavenged plating while you're running around. So if you're running around and getting hit, this just sort of creates a chain. Because your Wind Dancer, you'll get hit, your Wind Dancer goes off, your Wind Dancer breaks armor and gives you scavenged plating. So if you get hit, you get armor break, and then you get scavenged plating. So this basically just makes you tanky for free because you're corroding and breaking armor. And then I also have corrosion on the Herald of Blood to break more armor, so I can get more scavenged plating. So basically the whole setup is just to break some armor with these and spread all the poison around with these two skills. And this Herald of Blood setup is the same one I was using on my warrior. So I mean, if you're curious about that, you can always go learn about that. Honestly, the warrior build was crazy this patch, dude. We were crushing it with that thing. But yeah, that's basically it. You just shoot enemies with your crossbow and just walk around. It's like easy mode gameplay. You just wander around and shoot. There is some items you can get too that are good if you're running like a pure evasion setup. There is like a decent little armor set you can get. Oh, here it is. See these Corsair cloaks reduce movement speed penalties from using skills while moving. So if you're running this on an evasion setup, this would be the best armor base because you're going to be able to move fast while you use it. So this would be your best armor base if you're running this on an evasion setup. I'm running it on an evasion, a hybrid armor evasion because I'm running armor. But if you were running this on a pure evasion, you might want to get one of these. This is going to be your best bet. You want to go on a Corsair cloak with movement speed penalty from using skills while moving, just so that you can shoot and run faster. But you're getting a lot of mobility, honestly. I could get way more movement speed out of this. I just haven't bothered to like change anything yet. But yeah, that's how everything is set up as far as all the skills and everything goes. And the crossbows and all that stuff and all the skills. That's all. They're all set up. You can just ignore Despair. I was just messing around with it. I haven't bothered to use it since. Honestly, I haven't really had any trouble killing bosses, so I haven't really bothered. I was going to use this on bosses. I used it in other patches in the past. Yeah, I like poison builds a lot. I used to play Poison Spiral Volley like back in 0.1, and I played it in 0.2. But now you just see it recycled every patch. I made the first, I'm pretty sure I made the first Poison Spiral Volley build that was ever like produced. And now you just see like a million channels recycling it. You'll probably see a million channels recycling this now that I've shared this too. There's probably going to be like 100 different channels being, you know, like, hey, look at my cool crossbow Poison Pathfinder. You just use basic attack. It's so sweet. Yeah, that's probably going to be like a future thing in this game now. But that's pretty much it for the skills. And then the reason this is so fun is because you get all this poison stuff. So you just double the amount of poisons you get because you run overwhelming toxicity. And then you also get running assault, which is what gives you this being able to move and shoot. So you can actually like walk almost at full speed while shooting, which is pretty fun. You can also get some runes for your boots. And then the most important one is this Relentless Pursuit. Oh my god, man. Mapping with this character is amazing. This like mapping with this character is like the best thing on the planet because all those annoying maps, the temporal chains, the frozen ground, all those maps with all that annoying BS, this just makes that not a problem anymore because you can just walk right through all of it and you're never slowed. And it's like the comfiest, easiest mapping ever. It's like so relaxing and it's like not stressful at all. So yeah, this setup is great. I love this setup. I gotta move some points around because I think there's some stuff down here that I'd still like to get. I'd still like to drop some of this. I might drop some damage because I think I just have enough damage already. But the skill tree, you can double check the max roll for this. I basically just looped in this way, grabbed all this stuff. I haven't done any weapon set splits on this skill tree. So I grabbed both of these nodes, and then I went in here and I grabbed the crippling toxins. I grabbed the stacking toxins, lasting toxins, escape velocity, and freedom of movement. The freedom of movement, again, gives you more reduced movement speed penalty from using skills while moving. So that's being able to walk around. Because I can still walk at like 90% movement speed when I stop to shoot. So you can see like this is my regular movement speed. This is my shooting movement speed. So I basically move at full speed while shooting. So it's kind of nice. And I mean, I'm probably going to get a set of movement speed boots that are like double movement speed. So I can run really fast while I do it. It'll be really funny. But yeah, I looped down here. I popped this Heart of the Well in there. Came down here, grabbed all this stuff. Grabbed the wasting and the fast acting toxins, grabbed the crimson assault so that I could use that bleed chain like I talked about in previous videos. Came down here, grabbed this megalomaniac with lasting trauma, and that just came with artillery strike. I really only wanted the lasting trauma. You could also anoint lasting trauma on your amulet. This would be a really good anoint, so it'd be nothing wrong with that. And I also have this anointed on my amulet, leeching toxins. So yeah, I think either one, just megalomaniac or whatever you got to do, probably be fine. Then I looped down here. Oh wait, there's this little bit up here. I looped down this way and went up to drop this from nothing diamond in there so that I could get up to the chaos inoculation, like I said. And then I popped in here and I grabbed all these poison nodes, immune to poison and all that stuff. Ooh, I still have a poison charm on. I forgot to take that off after becoming immune to poison. I have to go replace that. Good thing I recorded this video for you guys. But yeah, I grabbed all this poison stuff up here, this whole poison wheel. And when I came down here, I just went into the surrounded stuff. And then I popped a couple of these jewels in here. Small passives gave increased attack speed, damaging ailments, steal damage X faster. So I just grabbed those so that I could get a little bit more evasion and attack speed and whatever. The jewels really aren't super important. These are just nice because I was going this way anyway. And then I grabbed adrenaline rush for, again, more movement speed, more attack speed. So when I actually kill enemies, I still move faster, which is nice. And then I did the same thing over here. I just pathed over here and I grabbed the armor nodes for elemental, armor to elemental, just to reduce the damage. It actually makes you feel a lot more tanky. And then same thing here, chance to shock, attack damage, accuracy rating, damaging ailments. And it just hits this whole wheel with all these damaging ailment nodes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Very, very simple, straightforward build. I wouldn't get too hung up on jewels, like I said, like the jewel I showed you here. Stuff like this, or something like this, or something like this. Basically any of those kind of jewels would work. They'd kind of all do the job. But obviously as you get higher end stuff, this is going to work a lot better. But I'm sure that you could even kill like max tier pinnacle bosses with like auto attack if you don't mind killing them for about like 15 seconds. That's probably all it would take. But yeah, that's the whole tree. It's really simple, but it's really fun to play because it's really lazy. If you guys got any questions, like I always say, just pop them down below. This is just a normal place for normal people. And, you know, if you have any suggestions, go ahead and stick them down at the bottom. I'm glad that I made this video so that I remember to take my poison charm out and replace it with something better. But of course, if this video helped you, you know, make sure you like it. Throw a comment down below and say thanks. I always appreciate it when people say nice things. YouTube's filled with like weird trolls that just love to comment mean things. So when you guys say nice things, it kind of balances out, which is always nice. Yeah, again, if you got any questions, feel free, pop them down below. I'll see you guys on the next one.